Hi, this is Mark News from Plant Talk Radio. Thanks for subscribing and listening to our podcast, Your Gardening Questions from Plant Talk Radio. If you have a gardening question you'd like our host Fred Howard to answer, send him an email. The email address is fred@planttalkradio.com. Now for today's question.
Good morning.
Good morning. How can we help you, Jerry?
Well, I have a question. I have two. One is about trees. I lost a mature green ash, and I have since had a sugar maple planted in its place. And I'm, like a nervous mother, I don't want to see another tree go down. How do I feed this, and how often, and can I add any of the preventives like the beetle that maples are subject to damage?
Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, Jerry, great question. So I think with any new tree, definitely you got to keep it happy, right? And when we think about a happy tree, we think of keeping it watered, definitely fertilizing it. I like to fertilize a newer tree. I don't like to fertilize the first year. A lot of the fertilizers are salt-based and sometimes can burn the roots if it's dry. But definitely the first year, just keeping it watered once a week, sometimes twice, depending on the weather. Borer-wise and beetles, sugar maples are fairly disease insect tolerant around here. Keep an eye, though, a preventative borer application wouldn't hurt, but may not be needed either.
Okay.
Jerry, back to the theme I started and then what Chris has just mentioned. A happy tree is hard to define, but they are a growing, living physiology. The very, very, very complex, well beyond even our current understanding. And when they have what they need, which is principally sunlight, water, anchorage, be the roots into the ground and so on, and you don't put or allow them to go into stress. And I was teasing at the break with Chris the first time I told a man his tree was stressed. He looked at me as if, what are you talking about? I get stressed, but trees, no. Well, anyhow, they do. And there's nothing that I would know of that would have affected the green ash to cause it to go that would be transferred to the sugar maple other than growing conditions. And I doubt that would have been what killed your ash tree. Nervous mother, I do understand because you have time in it. You have indeed some expense in function as well as actual materials and so on. So, I think I would tell you to relax, keep it watered from August 1 at least through into October, once a week for sure, or even on a very large tree, every third week, set up the sprinkler and go away, do your shopping, and come back 4 or 5 hours later and shut it off. It will have soaked down far enough to keep the tree in good shape for a long time. So those are the things. Right now, we don't know of any particular problems with sugar maples, so keep your fingers crossed.
Hey, thanks again for listening to our podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our other podcasts as well, the Plant of the Week podcast and the Plant Talk Radio podcast, all on iTunes or your favorite podcast player. If you'd like to sponsor a daily podcast, contact us at fred@planttalkradio.com. To find out more about Fred Howard and Plant Talk Radio, visit our website, planttalkradio.com.
Circle270media.com